Hey guys, what's going on? My name is and this is a quad commentary, if you will, a podcast even, with a couple of the very, very popular recon guys, some of my fellow brothers in Nova Gaming. You guys could check them out down in the description below. Subscribe to Nova if you want to hit us up for cool, awesome montages. We have Anderzel, myself, WhiteMoosey, and MongolFPS talking a little bit about what we want to see out of Battlefield 4. Now, we're not sure if we're going to do this very, very often. I do know that we are going to do at least 3 more, one of which is going to be located on each one of their channels. It's going to be kind of a take turns kind of deal. And depending on how well these go over time, we'll debate, I guess, whether or not we want to make this a long-term thing. So if you can, make sure you guys subscribe to them. You want to keep seeing these come around, make sure you hit that like button and go support them as well. But in the meantime, enjoy the video.
Oh, hi.
Hello. How are you doing?
Oh, you know. How you doing, girl?
I've been thinking about you all night, Pone.
Oh, God.
Making me all wet.
Just like last night, then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the night before that.
You need to stop leaving those messages on my phone. I can't handle it. The deep breathing.
Yeah, I think you can. You're man enough for those messages. I'll send you some pictures too later on.
Oh, God. Yo, what's going on, guys? We have a little podcast going on right now with Anderzel, WhiteMoosey, and MongolFPS. Mongol is uploading, so he is lagging a little bit. But we are here to talk about Battlefield 4, what we want to see from it, what we're expecting or, excited for. Well, and most of us are recons. So you want to start about recons? Like what we want to see out of sniping in Battlefield 4? Moosey, you go first. What do you want to see, bro?
Basically, I'm a big fan actually of how recon works in Battlefield 3, except for suppression. So if you remove suppression from the recon, then I think it's gonna be really good. Because suppression is just a killer for me at the moment. It's so difficult to handle sometimes.
Yeah, it's
and
a pain. Oh, God.
Yeah, so if you you look back to Bad Company 2 and then see how good it is without suppression, yeah. I think
even before the patch came out, the game was just amazing. I absolutely fell in love with it. And then as soon as the new suppression patch came out, I just half the time I was raging when I never raged before the patch came out.
Yeah, it feels a lot like you're getting punished because you're good. Like that's how it felt when they increased the suppression. It's exactly how it felt. I mean, yeah, nice, poop on me. That's awesome.
And that suppression increase was quite insane as well. They did increase
it was more than twice as much.
But still, it's just insane.
Yeah, it was definitely more than twice as much. Oh my God, hate it. Would like to strangle the guy who came up with that suppression.
I know, seriously, just kick him in the balls.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, you kick the balls. Do it.
I'll hold him down. Andrew.
You guys pay for the bus fare, and I fucking go down there, kick him in the balls. I film it too.
I'm gonna hold him down, and you rub your beard against his balls. That'll be much worse.
No, that's.
You might want to plug your nose though, but you gotta.
That's nice. That's not good.
Yeah, won't he just enjoy it to rub his beard in his dick? That would be quite nice, I guess.
So.
Take it off.
A lot of us are recons. Do you think if sniping was out of the fact that what if they were able to make sure that suppression didn't affect sniping? Would that bother you so much? Because I personally think that suppression is one of the worst things they brought into the game because it basically turns everything into luck. Because usually you're not going to die in one bullet. So in most gunfights you're going to be shooting right at the other guy. He's going to be shooting at you. And basically, even though you're pinpointed, you can see through the blur, you're accurately aiming right at this guy's chest, and maybe one more bullet will hit. And basically, I feel like it's a coin toss between who wins the gunfight. And when something is that much luck, I look at Battlefield and a lot of people are like, how realistic the game is, how tactical, how team oriented it is, and yet you can't even kill a guy when you're accurately shooting at him because of suppression. When it makes it so much like luck, I think it takes away from the skill of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it just makes everything a horrible mess, almost, I would say. I mean, the game was a lot more enjoyable before it happened, because even if you would remove suppression quite a lot from snipers, I mean, sure, that would be nice, but that would just lead to everyone using the sniper, because then he won't get suppressed as easily, and stuff like that. So it's either dial it back a lot, even a bit less, I would say, than it was in the beginning, because I mean, even a battle-hardened soldier wouldn't get suppressed like you get suppressed in Battlefield. I mean, That's like the guy you see in the movie who gets like shell shocked and goes crazy and like poops himself and like starts crying and calling for his mom. Like everyone else, they're just gonna be like, toughen up, boys, we're going in. Da 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 da, and stuff like that, basically. Unless if it's an MG or something like that, like putting down some serious suppression fire.
Yeah.
But then again, what suppression actually, the bad part about the suppression is the randomness of it, but the just visual effects it has, that's quite nice, I think. Because then you actually have the like feeling it. Oh, you get shot at.
The blur
and
that's
a bit of distortion, but the randomness, it's so pointless. There's no place in the game.
Yeah, and also it feels like when I'm shooting at a sniper, and I know I should be suppressing him, but still he pulls off a sweet ass headshot straight in my head, and I'm like moving and shit. I'm like, what? That never happens to me. Like, am I not as suppressed as other people? Or
Yeah, that
more
pisses me off.
I always fucking feel that, because I mean, like, when I get shot at with the sniper, I have no chance of hitting anyone, even if I'm like aiming straight in the head, because you get so thrown off. Like, it just pisses me off. I get angry.
It's just because he's so shitty, he really missed the shot, but because of suppression, hit you.
He
Obviously, it's how it works. So.
Yes, actually. That's
I
kind of how it works.
I guess overall, we're all in unison saying that we do not like suppression. And I think it's safe to say that I probably would not want to see it in Battlefield 4.
I really hope it's removed.
Would you want them to alter the sniping at all? I mean, would you want it, if they remove suppression, would you be okay with, or would you want it to be more like how BC2 was, when, you know, it was still to the chest, still reliable? Because you know my rant on Battlefield 3 sniping and the fact that you can get collateral headshots, but as soon as you shoot somebody that has his hands and arms in front of his fucking chest and it eats the bullet, that pisses me off. I think that a chest shot, headshot with a sniper rifle, bolt action especially, should always be a one shot, at least if within, 10, 15 meters or something.
Yeah, I fucking love how the sniping is. I mean, everything except for, like, you should be able to kill someone, like, in the chest when you're using a fucking 308 bullet. I mean, like, seriously, that is as close to 50 cal as you can come without having a 50 cal almost, and that shit rips you to pieces. Even with a bulletproof vest and your hands and your gun in front of you, you're gonna die from a 357 bullet or the 308. I mean, that's what it's in it. I mean, those are huge rounds. Those are really big rounds, a lot bigger than like the AK-47s, like 7.2 and stuff like that. I mean, it should kill you. I mean, where everything else is supposed to be so realistic, why isn't this realistic? That's kind of my feeling about it.
Then again, it is a game, so the kill has to be in like close vicinity. It can't be like 50 meters or something. That would just be completely unbalanced.
Yeah, exactly. That would promote more camping. It'd be realistic, but I don't think we should do that, because the guys that sit back on the rocks, you'd see a fucking party going on the rocks. Yeah. You know what I mean?
They would be like, oh yeah, we're just waiting for these guys to pop up their heads.
Yeah, sniper rifles should be made a lot more powerful for up close combat, but when you get like farther away, the damage should drop off like it should be doing.
Yeah, but it should always be a one-shot headshot, no matter the distance, though.
Yeah.
That I think is correct.
I think it should be a one-shot headshot with like everything sort of maybe like a pistol or something, but it depends if you're wearing a helmet or anything. But anyways, all right. Outside of the whole recon thing, what do you think about maps? Because in between, the argument from all these things, people are always upset with stuff, and I have my own theories on what kind of map should be in a game, especially a game like Battlefield. So, what are like some of your favorite maps, and what are the maps that you want to, I guess, look forward to in Battlefield 4? Like how they're built, similar
ones.
You like
I
those
love Grand Bazaar.
Yeah, exactly. Not the close quarters, but exactly like Mongol says, like the Bazaar ones.
Infantry based type.
Yeah.
I'm actually a very big fan of Sharkey Peninsula, back to Karkan. I think those are three good maps. They're big enough they're big enough to have tanks and helicopters and such. Of course, Karkan doesn't have helicopters, but it's still small enough for infantry to have a place as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Also different dynamics of where you are on the map. I think those are really good.
Yeah, the only one I don't like is just the one that, what is it? The one where you start on an aircraft carrier and you move to land. No, Wake Island. Wake Island I actually love. It's really fun in the sky, in the tanks, and also as a foot soldier.
Karg Island.
Oh, no, not Karg Island. One of the Karkan maps. It's the one you start on an aircraft carrier and there's like a big beach head, and then you have the city with the.
I
big
know, you know
skyscraper
which map you mean. I just can't.
Yeah, I just can't remember the freaking name of it. But that's the only Karkan map I don't like. The rest of them are awesome. As TDM, as Rush, as Conquest.
about Omen?
They're really fun.
Yeah, good for
Yeah,
Omen.
Omen.
exactly. Go for Omen.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I like
that
all
much.
of those.
It's
I like
spread out.
all of those maps for Rush, and they're even pretty reliable on Conquest. I'm not the biggest Conquest fan, but some of those maps are great on Conquest. Now, the ones I don't really like are I've never been a fan of Caspian, and a couple of the other ones.
128 servers, 128 player servers.
What did you think, taking away from like the bullshit of AC-130 and all this stuff? What did you think about the new DLC with the maps they brought in, like
maps,
those of
really.
that size?
If you maybe would take away the AC-130 on Rush or something like that, or maybe even take it away. I mean, it's really fun, but it also kind of messes up the gameplay a lot. But I mean, most of those maps are extremely fun on Rush, and they would be super fun on Conquest if you had 128 player servers. Because they're too big, even for 64 player servers, to be fun as an infantry guy. Because you're just gonna run before you either you get killed by a chopper or some kind of tank or some shit like that. You're not gonna like meet another dude until just killed by something else.
Imagine it's on the console right now.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be a pain to be on console.
Isn't console compressed though? If I remember correctly, where you have like 7 or 8 objectives on the new ones, they only have 5 on console. So if they were willing to give
I think
us
it's like
the same,
Just 5 is still a lot on console.
Yeah.
It's still.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
still
I mean,
big.
take the ones on console and give them to us,
but
rather
I
than
think
just
it's
looking
kind
for
of like,
128.
Isn't it like Grand Bazaar? Like you only have like market, alley, and square instead of having.
It's just
Only the
big.
A, B, and C.
It's just as big, but there are no objectives in that area. And instead of it being like A to F, you guys spawn at what PC would be like D and E, or B and E, or something like that. So instead of those, I think it goes up to G or H or something. But basically, instead of having those 7 objectives, you spawn at one side spawns at the A and the other spawns at H. The rest of them, on console, they're actually spawning at B and G. And that last outer area of the map is basically, it's still there, but there's no need to be.
Yeah, there's nothing there basically.
You have to go backwards.
You can hang out as a sniper there if you want to and stuff like that, but that's about it.
If they were to bring that in, I would have liked that a lot more. I think the maps were a little bit too big, and I don't think there was enough vehicles to be able to transport that. I liked some of the vehicles they brought in, like the ATVs, of course, great for transport and stuff like that, but I've always seen the value in smaller maps because there are a lot of other games out there, Call of Duty, for example. And people, look at this from a business standpoint, people that are trying to bring in a unique, fan base, trying to peak to many people's interest. What they do is they need to stick to certain maps like infantry. When I came into the Battlefield community, people hated me for coming over from Call of Duty. People hated how aggressive I was playing. People hated blah, blah, blah. They just got so mad at the way I played. And I needed maps like Metro and Bazaar to, I guess, teach me how Battlefield worked. I learned how to play the objective from playing.
Yeah, because it takes such a long time to learn if you only play Conquest, for example, where you never really get to shoot anyone either. So you need those team deathmatch and the really small maps to be able to have fun. And I mean, gaming is supposed to be fucking fun. Even if you kind of suck, you still want to be able to respawn in a decent amount of time and then actually be able to run away and find enemies again if it ever takes more than 30 seconds to see an enemy, then it's just badly designed.
That's boring.
Yeah, that's boring. I mean, you play games to have fun. I mean, if you want to like snipe or like sit still in the woods for a long time and like wait for your prey, then you buy a fucking hunting game. And I mean, and like you set up your stupid ass chair up in a tree and just wait for a goat to pass by and blow the head off or some shit like that. I mean, that's what you do then if you want to wait.
That's what makes no sense to me with snipers. They sit out on the rocks and don't get a single fucking kill the entire game. They take 20 shots, but they don't get any fucking kills.
I did that a lot in the beginning of Battlefield 3. I did that all the freaking time. I loved it.
You're one of those.
My mouse was so awesomely bad.
Why?
It was
blame it on the mouse.
Yeah. It was a wireless mouse I bought at a
like
convenience
$6
store. Like
email.
$6. Exactly. And you got a wireless keyboard in for the price. And it was horrible. We're talking like extremely bad. So the only thing I could really do was like if either like close combat with like shotguns and stuff like that, or sit on a rock far away and snipe people who were doing the same thing. And if you was like me, like you like to learn how to calculate where to aim and stuff like that, you got some nice headshots and really high scores. And I think that's why people do it. And the records, of course.
No, you can't save yourself. You said you were one of those unsub. It's just no.
I only
Now I got a good
game.
mouse. You've seen my sniping montages now. They're awesome. Fucking hell. But I mean, like, you do good with what you got, basically. And I gotta admit, it was fun, too. It was fun when you got those, like,
I have to.
Well,
Well, that's different because you're used to not getting any action. I know about your love life, but I don't know about like sitting still. I can never get excited about that. But I just like the idea of having the smaller maps. I like knowing that it's good for those that want to transition from games they're used to. Anything like Halo, COD, something like that. It's good to have that transition.
I mean, the small maps are the most popular maps. I mean, if my favorite map, I would say for Rush is Devon Peak. It is so fun.
Yep.
I mean, it's amazingly good. But then you have these other maps like Metro and Grand Bazaar and CN Crossing that are just incredibly fun on Rush, and also back to Karkan and Charkan Peninsula. I mean, that's exactly what Battlefield should be. Not too far to run before you see enemies, but still not like super close, so you have like no chance to like use rocket launchers and tanks and stuff, because you want a little bit of that too, but not too much. You want some maps that is only infantry as well, like a Humvee map.
Yeah, of course, because of this diversity. You can't just have small map, you can't just have big map. You have to have something in between, just both big and small, and yeah.
Yeah, but I think for Battlefield 4, if they want to really have it succeed, I think they should concentrate actually on the smaller maps and make good ones for Rush, because Rush is one of the most favored modes because it's so fun.
Yeah,
it's definitely my favorite because it's always like so compacted. Like, you know where the enemy is gonna be. There's a ton of them over there. You know your families are over here. It's like a nice firing line, and if you can sneak behind them, you can get a ton of kills in the back. I mean, all that kind of spawn shooting fun. It's low, but I mean it's fun. And games are supposed to be fun.
Oh,
I wouldn't say that they should just focus on small maps. They need the big maps as well. Otherwise, it wouldn't be Battlefield. Like, I wouldn't play Battlefield if there weren't tanks, because tanks create an entire different aspect of the game. So it just plays out very different.
Choppers and jets. I mean, it's so fucking fun to play with that as well. It creates a depth, making the game last so much longer, because there's so many things you can try out and do and like learn and become better at. I mean, it's just freaking awesome. That's why I think Battlefield 3 is, even with all the flaws, the best multiplayer game ever made. I mean, I love fucking Black Ops 2 right now. I'm playing the hell out of it, but I know I'm gonna get sick of that it's not gonna take more than 6 months. Probably less than 6 months, then I'm gonna feel like, nah. Battlefield, I've started getting sick of lately. I mean,
it took like years
a whole
and change.
year of enjoyment. And I mean, I get sick really easily.
Yeah, I wish they released them more, I guess, consistently. And a lot of people, one of the biggest arguments is, well, we don't want them to release it every year. It's going to turn out like shit like Call of Duty. Call of Duty did it right this time. You know what I mean? They did it okay. There were very minimal flaws. And even for them to be like, oh, we only released it every 2 or 3 years, so it turns out good. Do you not remember the beta and the fucking bugs at the start of the release of Battlefield? Is that what you get out of waiting 2 or 3 years to create a game?
It was still released like 6 months too early, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, there were so many bugs, many flaws.
If you're gonna take time, do it like Halo. Halo came out without one single fucking bug. It was years, of course, but again, if you're wanting your game to be top tier, incredible, no flaws, perfect release, perfect launch, then take the extra time. If not, you might as well crunch it out and fix it as you go. I mean, that's what they had to do anyways.
Yeah.
Dude,
but
I don't think that's going to be happening, because if you look at EA, I mean, they're just as money hungry as Activision. It's not going to happen. It's going to be just like Battlefield or
but the problem is actually DICE. I mean, it doesn't matter if EA Tales DICE to like hurt.
It's not DICE. It's EA. They're the ones who are funding.
I know, but DICE has to put the fucking foot down and like grow some goddamn balls, because
DICE
I mean,
won't. EA pays the bills.
Yeah.
They can't. I've talked to these guys, and they're like, we have the stuff ready. We have the stuff patched, but we can't do it until EA funds it, because for them to send out these patches, it costs them. I think somebody said it was like $30,000 for each patch or some shit.
Okay, I had no clue about that.
Yeah, it costs like $10,000 to add a patch on Xbox.
Exactly.
Dang.
It costs a lot of money to patch something. So if they were like, oh, we got to patch the FAMAS. Okay, there's 10 grand, and for each one of the consoles, that's 30 grand. And then we did this and that, and then
PC doesn't cost anything, I guess.
No, DICE can set it up.
Exactly.
DICE has this stuff done, set, and ready. But the reason they wait until the new DLC comes out is because it's cheaper to just release the patches and the DLC all at once, rather than doing that. It costs them a lot of money to do that. So DICE is ready to be involved and help the community, like how they used to be. But EA's like, nah, bitch, make me a sandwich. They just hold them back so much. They don't let them do anything.
But DICE should, like, try to set their foot down when it comes to, like, the release. If they know the game is horribly bugged, I mean, they should try to, like, stall the shit, because, I mean, if you stall the game for 2 months, that won't really do that much. I mean,
I don't
think that's gonna happen.
I'm sure they're already in the contract to release a game by a certain date.
Yep.
Just like Call of Duty does.
Every November.
And also,
I bet it was like 100 million, so they can't really postpone a game like 2 months. That would cost so much money.
Yep.
oh.
And an advertisement and everything. That would be way too much money. So
And
they can't really just do that. They'd have to have like 6 months heads up.
Yeah.
And also,
So basically,
Infinity
the
Ward
only
gets
way to
so
fix
much
it is-
shit.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No,
I
go
was
ahead,
about to
Mongol.
say something, damn it.
Fuck, you guys won't let me talk. Infinity Ward gets so much shit for being, unsupportive and blah, 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 not making the innovative games. It's because of Activision. They blame Infinity Ward for everything. And then all of a sudden, Treyarch comes along and they're like, oh, Treyarch is so much better than Infinity Ward. No! Infinity Ward is so much better than Treyarch, but everyone supports Treyarch because they get paid to pretty much hash the games. That's what they're for. Infinity Ward makes like all the innovative stuff, like create a class, stopping power. They did all of those. The kill streaks. Infinity Ward made Call of Duty what it is today. And all of a sudden, like everyone's like bitching about how Infinity Ward makes the worst Call of Duties, makes the game worse, or blah blah blah. Same thing's going on with DICE. Everyone's blaming DICE for ruining Battlefield and hanging suppression, all this stuff. No, it's all because of the mother company, who is EA. Just like Activision, they're ruining Battlefield right now.
It's true. I believe it entirely. I do think here soon they're going to start cranking out Battlefields like every other year. Like maybe even get 2 companies behind creating it, like how Infinity Ward and Treyarch does. Like if they were to do that, you'd get a BC3 and a Battlefield game alternating each year. And I have a feeling just to keep up the COD, they'll do it. Yeah, as much as you don't like it, man.
As long as they put the money and the work into it, like with COD, because I mean, like, I'm not complaining about Black Ops. I think it's the best Call of Duty game ever. Yeah. I haven't really played the Modern Warfare series that much, but I think it's awesome.
COD 4 was the one. And that was the
one
the good,
me
solid
to
game.
A player game. I bought my own PC because of Call of Duty 4.
Oh, damn.
and it wasn't even for multiplayer. It was because of single player. And I never played single player games. And it was like the game that like dragged me into games pretty much. Before this I never played games. Like I would play on a friend's Xbox or go and hang out with them or at a party and play their Xbox or something. But other than that, like I never played video games. But then Call of Duty 4 came out and I was just so into it.
You went to parties to play video games?
No, they were
just latch on to that.
Or did you
they would have to play video games a lot. Like seriously, everyone did fucking afford internet and shit like that when we were kids. Phone. God damn it! Don't act like your family had all the fucking nice shit.
I just pictured Margot having this slow interest in this party, all the hot bitches with their little red cups, and they got their drinks.
Oh, you mean like a really party? Okay.
Oh. Around, he's like, gives a nod, and he sits down and picks up the controller. That's just what I saw. Like this dramatic entrance. He's like, yeah, fuck.
Everyone is like, that party, bitch. Because Morgan like, it's there with the Xbox. Okay, I understand now what you meant.
That's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about like family parties.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and with friends, just like gaming parties and LAN parties and stuff like that. Yeah.
People's houses and fucking Xbox and Mountain Dew all night long. And
yeah. Oh god, that was so much fun as a kid. Never had Mountain Dew though.
Back in the days, like when you actually had to switch your TV to like channel 3, you lived in a good fucking day when you used to have to do that. Now kids just plug it in, HDMI, component.
Those are the days when video games were real and they were fun, and that's what I think they need. That's something else I would like to see from Battlefield.
Nintendo 64, awesome shit.
I want to see different game types with Battlefield. I want to see what makes some of these shooters really, really popular is some of their arena type gameplays. I love Rush, I love Conquest, but I think they need something else that was a little bit more reliable, similar to like how Hardpoint is in Call of Duty, or it's basically a rotating King of the Hill. Anything like that is incredible to me. Capture the Flag, anything like that is a great game type. If they're able to incorporate that, I mean, they already have TDM. Just set up a small area in a map and allow that to be capture the flag for 8v8, 6v8.
Yeah, I think Battlefield TDM is actually quite good, but it also brings in the problem with when people can get up on big roofs with the spawn beacons and shit like that. I mean, that causes some huge problems though. You're getting sniped from a guy you have no chance of killing.
I think the TDM map is too small. Then it doesn't really work.
Yeah, that's true. If I wanted to play TDM, I'd go play COD. Because they don't do better than COD, in my opinion, and people play it. That game is
TDM, actually.
I never play TDM Rush. All I play is Rush.
Yeah,
they just need to have Rush and Conquest. That's all they need. They don't need all these extra game modes or game types that people will never play. They just need to focus on making Rush and Conquest. That's all they need.
Okay, what about a more tactical game type? Something along the lines of Search and Destroy. You play Medal of Honor, right? No, not necessarily like that. I mean, that is one, but that's not played enough. I'd like something a little bit different. Have you played the new Medal of Honor, yeah?
Yeah, Home Run. It was okay, but I wouldn't play it. All I played was
I thought it was
other game. But I never played that.
Imagine that with 32-on-32 on a large ass map.
That would just be a camp fest if you think about it.
Not necessarily.
Everyone would be camping. Don't tell me that would never happen.
I'm not saying there won't be campers. There's campers in everything. I'm not saying it's not going to be.
Imagine how bad it would be with game types that you respawn only once.
It's basically a form of attack and defense. So you're going to need defenders to stay near, and the attackers have 3 minutes to get in there and get out and return it back. I've always loved that. That's what happened with a lot of people on Halo and stuff. They hated some of those large ass maps where you need the vehicles to escort you across. And when you're playing Capture the Flag or something like that. I think a game type like that will make people play properly. That'll make them actually think. When you've got one life to live, everything changes. You can't just run around. You can't just carelessly play. I mean, sometimes you're going to want to rush to catch them off guard. But if you actually moved out as a squad and, some crazy shit could happen out of that. That's just
I do agree with Mongol though, mostly because Battlefield is so versatile in all the ways with the tanks and the helicopters and all the different kind of guns. If they would make it basically like Battlefield 3, just a bit more guns and a bit better map design. I mean, Rush and Conquest is really the only thing you need. It's not like Black Ops where you need to have different game modes, because otherwise it kind of becomes boring, since it's so small and you can't use tanks and choppers. I mean, don't get me wrong, Black Ops 2 is a fucking awesome shooting game, but you will get bored quicker when you don't have all the tanks and the stuff. So you need to have those extra game modes. So I kind of agreed with Mongol that Rush and Conquest, focus on making that shit good, and if you got time over, then focus on making 1 or 2 extra things that are good, like Squad Deathmatch or what you were talking about, Pone. I mean, I don't really mind if there's extra ones, but I don't want them wasting time and effort, and definitely fucking kill the single player.
I would just like to see something more skillful. Imagine even just
Rush, for example. Imagine Rush, where instead of it being like Squad, where you have just a certain set limit of lives, because if you're playing in a pub and one fucking
kind of like Counter-Strike or something like that.
Yeah, they've had game types like that. I'm referring to this as an experience that I had with a game called America's Army a while back. That game was definitely one of the games that heavily impacted what I liked in a video game. And what happened is you had 1 life to live. You had to be stealthy. You had to use your grenades properly. You needed to communicate. And if you did so, you would be successful. So imagine you had 32-on-32. You're even in the tunnels in Operation Metro. But everybody's got 1 life. I mean, that makes you play
That would be way
properly.
too boring, dude.
I don't
Especially
think so.
if you have 30.
Yeah,
I don't think I would than 32 players. It would just turn into a camp fest.
You would think that
the rounds would take so long.
That's what the rounds.
The rounds would take so long.
It's a different experience.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, but if you wanted, never mind. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. I agree again with you, Mongol. I think it would be a bit too boring for me, but I don't mind there being like other things that people can play. I mean, just because I don't like it, that doesn't mean that other people won't like it, if you get my drift. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind that, but as long as they make sure to put effort and stuff like that into Rush and maps and the Conquest first.
They only took like one section of those maps.
Make other good shit too. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that would be fucked up. But yeah, it's just mean there's something they could do with it. I like Rush, I like Conquest, but I also like having options. You know what I mean? Because TDM is not enough for me. I think TDM
no.
Battlefield
it gets boring quick. I mean, TDM, that's where you go when you want to level up a gun or you want to level up. I mean, get a lot of kills quickly so you get the attachments. I mean, like doing a review video of a gun, for example.
I play Battlefield.
You get a lot of kills to show.
I play Battlefield for objective. I go for the objective. That's even Conquest, capturing a flag is not that satisfying to me because I know as soon as I go to the next one, you know, somebody else is right behind me and you guys are just doing circles.
Taking the other one.
You know, so it's like, I just fucking clean this room. Who's shit on the floor? You get so upset because you're just like doing shit over and over and over again. It's repetition. It's annoying. Whereas you have one set limit in Rush. That's why I like Rush over Conquest. But I would also like to see at least one more really, really heavily built objective game type. I mean, they've been sitting with Rush and Conquest for a while now. I'd like to see them develop another game type.
They do have Scavenger coming up.
Though. Not too bad.
I don't know. I mean, that's just my hope.
It's a lot like the game mode Gunmaster. I mean, like I played it like 5 times and then I never played it again.
It was still fun to play for the moment.
I think Scavenger's gonna turn into a lot like Gunmaster. You know, just like kind of gets forgotten. You need to have like objective game types, not like kill-based game types.
True.
But
Scavenger is going to have Scavenger is going to have objectives like a lot like Conquest, so it might be interesting how it turns out.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we can't shoot it down before we actually see how it looks like. I mean,
of course,
it might be awesome.
I'm actually quite looking forward to Scavenger. I think it's going to be quite interesting. But then again, it might of course be something that's just going to die straight away. But
I think so.
I'm looking forward to try it at least.
Things are already
really looking forward to Aftermath.
I like those.
Really good. I'm so interested.
The maps looks awesome.
This DLC might actually be good. I'm not being disappointed about the previous two, but this one looks quite good. The maps are quite big, or big enough, I should say, but not too big.
It's more infantry-based map. A lot like Grand
That's what they should have.
Same crossings.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
This is what they should be making, not like extremely large or extremely small maps. Just something that has everything. You know, the close infantry battles as well as the tank and the heli battles that Aftermath can support.
Yeah, because you get a little bit pissed off when you get raped by a tank, like completely. When you think you should be safe and like you're kicking ass, and then all of a sudden a tank fucking runs your dick over, and then you're screwed over.
Yeah, that's really annoying.
That's because your teammate's tank player kind of sucks.
It
should be blamed on his fault.
Yeah, but I still like it when there's maps that has like no tanks at all. Also, like I would say like 20% of the maps in a game or in a Battlefield game should be like only infantry and like maybe a Humvee maximum or something like that. Or like
20% is a little high. That's like if there's 20 maps, you're looking at 4 of them or some shit. You know, that's a little. I think what is it? Metro is like the only map that doesn't have a vehicle on it.
Yeah, Metro is the only one.
And even maps like Bazaar. I mean, Bazaar has 1. And sign.
Yeah, but there it works on Rush. Like attackers really need it because there's just 2 choke points and really
it's
most games
too bad on Conquest either. There's a couple vehicles.
The problem is that there is already a mode that lets you have infantry only, but nobody uses it.
Yeah, exactly. No service uses it because it's. I don't know why, but I mean, like, it seems like the only servers which modes are changed that are popular are like instant respawn and extremely high tickets, and I hate extremely high ticket.
Yep.
That's why I never play Conquest, because, I mean, first of all, it's a pain to make videos on. Yeah. It's just a freaking pain, and it's also not very fun, because you don't want to spend all your time on one single map all the fucking time. That gets boring.
The problem with inventory only is that it doesn't show up in Quick Match. So it's really hard to fill up the servers. I've had had some experience with it in the past in a previous clan. We had an infantry server and it was so hard to keep up. Like 10 or 15 clan members have to join and fill it up all the time. If it's dead, then we have to do it all over again. It doesn't fill up automatically.
I think a lot of people actually would like that, but it's kind of hard to find those servers and keep them populated, because you don't want to join a server that is half empty either.
Yeah, of
you
course.
want to join a server that's almost full.
Yeah, and I never join a half empty or empty server. I always join a full one, because I don't want to wait until we have more players. I want to play right away.
I mean, exactly. You have a limited time to have fun, and you want to have fun on your spare time. I mean, you don't want to wait. I mean,
4 hours and 1,000 ticket fucking...
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to do that shit either. I mean, what the fuck? Come on. Like Caspian Border with 1,000 tickets or 2,000 tickets. Like, it's not a tree left on the entire map. It's all craters.
I had a friend who played on a map on one server for 6 hours, and then it crashed.
Fuck that.
It was like 30,000 tickets or something, just insane, and then it crashed, so he lost
like
the
100,000 XP or some shit like that.
I've seen games that lasted like entire days.
Yeah.
So long.
I couldn't do that. We need like a Taco Bell break or something. That's insane. I don't know. But anyways, this is about time to wrap up. Is there anything else you guys are looking forward to, like something you would like to add into it that has not been mentioned? Something you...
Nope. Not right now.
Also, I had a problem with suppression in the fact that it ruined the balance of the guns for Battlefield 3. Like before patch, like you could use pretty much any gun and do well with it. But now, like you kind of have to rely on using the M16 because the M16 doesn't get affected by suppression as much as the other weapons, and also it is so accurate compared to all the other guns. Yeah, you can use it for close range, long range, medium range. You can do everything with the M16 that you can't do with other guns. So, just like.
So you basically just think they fucked the balance of this game up so hard.
Yeah. They should never change a big thing like that, like suppression, that affects everything else, because then you have to change everything else to go with that.
What do you think about gun
the
balance?
health to 200 instead of 100.
What do you think about gun balance? Go on.
Also, suppression kind of fucked up the recon class. I mean, like the recon class is already weak enough, and they put suppression, which makes the recon class pretty much like unusable or
camper don't use basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, suppression affects the recon the most because we have so slow fire rate.
What do you think about like gun balance overall? I think what they were trying to do was.
Other than that, I think it's actually really good.
I'm talking like. I mean,
except for the M16 and I mean, like the suppression shit, it's good, really good.
Yeah,
fun. I used all of the guns.
If you look at the guns side by side, you look at the guns side by side in the category, they're crazy. You have like the G36, the G53, all these guns, and what they do is they try to make tiny, minor differences between the guns. Like this one's just got a little.
So you can kind of find one that fits you and what you want to do that.
But is that necessary? I mean, if you have the PP-19, the P90, all these guns that are similar, the MP7, all these guns that are similar to each other, and you tell me they had the same exact stats, that means I could use either three of them and be happy with it. You know what I mean? Rather than people being stuck to just one gun. I mean, changing tiny stats and then still trying to find balance is going to be rough as fuck, and you're going to mess a lot of things up.
I would rather have that than having an M16 that is the only gun that is pretty much like the go-to gun. I loved Battlefield 3 pre-patch, the suppression patch, so I thought the gun balance before the patch, bringing in suppression was perfect. They got it exactly right, and I loved it, but then suppression kind of like ruined the gun balance, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The weapons I have an issue with is the M16, M416, and AK. I think those three are too good.
Yeah.
Apart from those three, I think the balance is actually quite good. If you just decrease those three just a little bit, not much, not that much at all, but just some, then I think it's going to be more balanced.
Because if you knock those down, just imagine if you took those three guns out of the game. Just thinking about it, what would your next gun be? You know, the go-to gun. Most games, most things, when you take out one gun, somebody else will have another overpowered gun. Like in Black Ops, they removed the AK-74U rapid fire. Then everybody went to the FAMAS. So somebody will always find the next powerful weapon. But when in this game, if you took those three out, then basically no one would have anything. I mean, people would use the FAMAS.
I would go with the G3 and AK-94.
I would probably go with the AK-74. AK-74M all day. That'd be the one that I go to.
That's my favorite.
G3A3 is still my favorite with all weapons there. Then G3A3 is so good.
It's a great rate of fire. The rate of fire is what scares people away with, you know, some of the
but you can put on laser. You can fire if you hit fire accurately enough. to the face, you can hit them pretty much like with 1 or 2 bullets and they'll die instantly.
Yeah, but anyways, I think this should wrap up.
Yeah, we've got to fucking wrap up.
Battlefield wrapping up. Pro tip, Mongo, if you ever at a party, wrap it up when you're not playing video games. So I want to thank you guys for coming on. We'll do another one next. We'll probably put the next one on Anders' channel or something like that, and we'll mix it up and do at least 4 of these and see how they go. And I just want to thank you guys for coming on. Hopefully we can do another one here soon.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Definitely.